Okay, so let me teach you all the difference between a torque, low end torque, and the high end torque. My bad, guys. So, as a lot of people, I ain't gonna talk some bullshit like torque is the twisting and turning power. I've seen a lot of people on YouTube. I'm not faming anyone. They are correct in their way, but they gotta understand that a lot of people don't understand this complex wording and sentences, including me. All right, I wasn't able to get the concept or grasp the concept of torque like for a long time, but it was a long time ago, and I did a few researches, and after that, which was a success, and I know what a torque means. But okay, so let me share on how I got what a torque means. Torque means the initial pickup. What is a pickup? Don't get it mixed with the horsepower or the brake horsepower, bhp or hp as you call them separately, but don't get it mixed with that. A bhp is something which is the top speed. All right, a bhp helps you gain in the top to get the top speed. All right, which isn't torque. Torque isn't speed. All right, when you open a door, you don't need speed. When you tighten a nut, you don't need speed. You need torque, you need force. So that force is called a torque. All right, so what exactly is torque? Now the initial pickup. So which is it, a low end torque or a high end torque? So the difference is the amount of torque, the amount of force, the amount of twisting and turning force which they call it when it's stored in the lower rpm, which is around 2000, 1000 to 3000 rpm. It's called a low end torque. And when the amount exceeds up to 6000, around 6000, 9000, it's called a high end torque. So what's the difference? In a low end torque, you can easily like blast away with your bike. So the things you see online where the bike top speed 0 to 100, 0 to 60 is done, it's possible in such a short time because of the low end torque. But on the opposite hand, a high end torque, what's gonna happen in an initial race of 1 to 100, a bike having a low end torque will win. But after the 100, a bike with a high end torque will gap that bike within few seconds. In a finger flick, the gap will be piked with a high end torque, because after the 6000, all the torque which was stored will be released, and the bike will suddenly gain a speed and just zap away the bike within a few seconds. All right, so which is best for you, a low end torque or a high end torque? So let's get this clear. So a high end torque will get you yeah, it will get you a higher speed in a longer amount of time. But on the opposite hand, a lower torque will get you a nice amount of speed initially, really quick. All right, so at the same time, it also helps you. Yeah, does it help you? But yeah, it kind of helps you to not constantly juggle between your gears, first, second, third, fourth. Not the fourth, it's fourth is too much, but it doesn't constantly need you to just change the gear from third and second. It's really annoying, of course. But yeah, that's how a low end torque helps you, because as the all of the torque is consist between the 1000 to 3000 rpm. So that means when the engine twisting and turning for, as it's called, the torque, all of that is stored in the 1000 to 1000 rpm range. So when you are accelerating and on supposedly a third gear and you are slowing down, you don't need to shift your gear. You can just blip your throttle a little bit, not blip, like hold your throttle a little bit, and it will give you enough torque or force to just, without put also keep it in mind that without putting a lot of force to the engine, it will give you enough force to just go straight without any stalling, or you know jerking, stalling, or the bike just turning off. And yeah, that's the advantage of a low end torque. But if you need a lot of speed, a lot of top speed, then go for a high end torque. But for me, I will always prefer a low end torque. And if you have any issues or any confusion, because I know my English right now is pretty fucking broken, so you can definitely comment down under the comment section any confusion regarding the low end torque and the high end torque. So in conclusion, I will give you a small summary. Low end torque is something where all of the torque is stored in the lower RPMs. High end torque is something where all the torque is stored in the higher RPMs. Meaning, in a low end torque, if you accelerate, the response will be immediate. So even if you have your gears really high in a lower RPM, your bike won't stall or jerk. Whilst on a higher RPM, if you try to do that, your bike will either stall, but on the other hand, on a higher end torque, your bike will won't jerk, and your bike will suddenly always, whenever you throttle, your bike will always gain the speed instantly. While on the low end torque, it won't happen. Your bike won't just take on the speed instantly, but it will pick up the speed slowly. So yeah, that's the whole summary.